assess yourself and see where you're missing it. Okay? First. There's no sentiment in business. Is that biblical? Is it biblical? From the parable of talents, is it biblical? Yeah. There's no sentiment in business. That's why the ego man succeeds more. Those guys practice the Bible, go to Alaba. There's no sentiment in business. Now, does that mean you are not my sister or my brother? No. And this is what scatters friendships. So you have a bank MD who is your friend, you borrow capital, and you start mixing up the rules of capital with the rules of friendship. It's not going to tell you what you have to do. You have to find the opportunity yourself. You'll finance your idea, but you will not take business risk. So you can't say, this business has done bad, God, we share the loss. Am I making sense to you? Yes. God does not take business risk, He only takes finance risk. That is why you find that bankers, that's what they concentrate on, finance risk. They don't take business risk. They don't say we're going into this joint venture together. No. We give you money for your joint venture. You don't participate it, you bring those out and money will go to your house. And your grandmother. Capital is initially allocated based on potential, but reallocated according to performance and productivity. Initially, God gives all of us according to our capacity. Potential, isn't that so? So He gave 5 talents to one, He gave 2 talents to one, He gave 1 talent to one. He already assessed their potential. And there are people that said, God, if only you can give me 1 billion naira to start my business, it's not going to if He doesn't think that you have the potential to manage the money. Am I making sense? Yeah. So God allocates capital and based on potential will reallocate capital according to. When you don't perform with your capital, it's still on its capital, and the least return is fixed deposit interest. Remember what He told that gentleman? Why didn't you put my money in a bank account and let it yield interest? So in terms of your profitability, you have to know that you are allocating. Sorry, you can't see. Okay, do you want me to move to the past side or something? Okay. So in terms of responsibility, you must perform with your capital. And that performance is fixed into the list. So that already tells you how to calculate your profit. Am I making sense? Because you got to return capital to the capital. It's a venture capital case study. Next. Capital is finite. There's no unlimited capital. There's no unlimited capital. Because if you notice, it's the same amount of money that is being played around with. And the capital is increased and reallocated and it keeps on being increased. So in order for you to have more capital, you've got to create value. Next. God expects you to multiply and even compound capital. So when you say, oh, that man is gouging us, I'm not talking about illicit gouging or immoral gouging. When you know that people are poor and you attack, that's what I'm saying. If you watch this porn channels on DSTV, I don't know whether there's a pawn shop in Beverly Hills and there's a pawn shop in a black community. The rules that govern those black community, those guys are Shylocks. But they're doing the right thing. According to these laws, you've got to multiply and compound capital. So it doesn't matter what you start with. Let me give you an example. I told you that I had 17 naira 50 kobo. And the reason I resigned from my work was because I was afraid that if I die at that time, that I'll be the person who most regret sitting in heaven. They're going to do me. You're just afraid and you are running away from venture. And you got to venture because a businessman has to take risk. But there's a payment, there's a price for payment for risk. Some of you don't want to pay the price. It may mean that your children will not go to Corona. They may go to Leke High School. I'm not saying it's that bad, but I'm saying that it may mean that you don't go to a Ikoyi club. Because there's a price for risk. And you must be ready to pay it. Now, if you are faithful and you are diligent with that and use your common sense to succeed, because God already guarantees you success, all you need to do is to conform to the rules. Okay? Number 6. Number 7, sorry. The personality of the provider of capital is relevant to capital. So you have this hard-nosed guy, always makes profit, doesn't care about any people. Does that matter? Does that matter? Because you are judging him morally, you are not judging him righteously. He has provided. Don't take capital from somebody if you don't like the person. Some of you have taken equity capital from equity companies, and these guys they're hard. They're worse than Russians. But if your capital is performing, would there be a problem? When you took the capital, did you care whether they were hard?
No.
Exactly. So my personality is relevant to the capital. Even my character is relevant. These are hard things, but I'm reconciling the Bible with the world for you. Next. When capital performs, there's no quarrel between the entrepreneur and the allocator of capital. Yeah. Have you ever seen an allocator of capital see somebody performing and say, let's remove her? Sorry. No venture, no gain. An entrepreneur assumes reasonable risk. Risk is not, I'm betting everything and there's no chance of, I'm just doing it in faith. That's not risk. Risk is weighted. Risk is weighted. And don't take on risk that you cannot service. So don't take a loan. And the mistake people make is that they take short-term loan to finance long-term projects. You're in trouble. Because that loan is compounded. Every month is doubling. And like Coach Charles told me, he said, when you take a loan, on Sunday it's working. On Saturday it's working, you're paying interest. And it never stops compounding. But that's the truth. Okay? Number 10. More capital capacity. More capital needs capacity development. There has to be performance, mentalism, and capacitation. Let me explain what I mean. If you start with 1 million naira and you want to now make 5 million naira and you don't develop yourself, you can't handle that capital. Am I making sense? That's why Jesus said, if you are faithful in little, you'll be given much. He's referring to this thing. So, for example, you take a vulcanizer by the roadside. It makes 500